Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to Raw Knuckles Podcast. Please like, follow, and subscribe.
How's your French?
Yeah. Pas français, pas français.
Zero French.
Zero French.
Zero French.
Don't they kind of, don't they bring in tutors and stuff now for some guys? Or is it just Nick? They want the captain to speak a little bit, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen no tutors around.
Okay.
But, yeah, so.
It's probably good to be like, I don't really want to know what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I'll just read the negative shit in English. I don't need to read in French, too.
When I stepped on the ice, I never backed down, and I never stayed down.
And I was vicious, and I was malicious, and I don't care.
He's a freaking madman. Look at him going to town.
So awesome. Thanks for joining us today, Kirby. I know you went back home for Christmas. Must be nice to get home, visit the family, Christmas time. Probably you'd rather be certainly playing, but that's not the case. Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, growing up a Oilers fan. When you guys stop playing hockey? Obviously your brother plays, been drafted by Chicago. Your sis plays some, but how'd the hockey get going in your household?
I think just my dad put us in skates right away. We lived out on an acreage when we were younger, so always had a backyard rink, and then we have a lake lot that's like an hour and a half away from Fort Sask, kind of north towards St. Paul. So spent a lot of time skating on the lake as a kid. And, I think like 2, 3 we were in skates, and then just kind of took off from there. Never really wandered or wanted to do anything different. We fell in love with the game and just kept playing until we can't really play anymore.
And I look, you're 6'4". Your brother's about the same size, right? 6'4".
Yeah.
Dad isn't that tall, is he? Your dad?
No.
Right? And
No.
your mom isn't tall. Where the hell is the size? Where's the height come from?
We got a few. I got a few tall uncles on both sides, and some tall aunties too. So definitely runs in the family, but we definitely lucked out and have pretty good genes and our height and our size.
Cool. Did you say how tall is your sister?
I think she's 5'10".
So she's
5'9", 5'10". Yeah.
Yeah, tall girl for sure. So yeah, you're growing up Fort Sask, playing some hockey, and you go and play junior. You end up with Saskatoon Blades, and I got to ask you because I know you played for Mitch Love, and Mitch Love obviously that reputation. How was he as a coach? You know, being a young kid, you come in at 15, right? Junior, your first year, played some games. What type of impact did he have on your young career?
I played against Mitch Love, and he didn't even know there was a puck out there. So I'm interested to know.
Exactly. No, Lover was good. I only had him my draft year, so my 17-year-old year.
Okay.
He treated us as pros in junior. I think it kind of really helped not only myself, but there's a few guys from the team that play pro hockey now, like getting to that mindset, like kind of came in. Practices were switched from the afternoon to the morning. We had meetings like we do now in pro hockey, and he's definitely tough on you at times. Like he didn't really sugarcoat anything. He spoke his mind, but made us play hard the right way. Taught us the value of defense in the game, and that offense will come after, and just you can be able to play free that way. But there's definitely moments him and I went at it and had a couple of fuck you matches back and forth, and enjoyed that. But he liked that out of me, and he knew that sometimes to get a rise out of me or to make me play better, he had to push those buttons, and that's definitely a year that helped me become a better player and a better person off the ice too.
Good stuff. Now, you get drafted 2019 by the Chicago Blackhawks, 3rd overall. Now, going into the draft, and I think back on my draft, I was drafted in 78, right? I got a fucking letter 2 weeks after I got drafted in the mail saying we're inviting you to training camp. So it's totally different. Where was the draft your year?
I was in Vancouver.
Vancouver. So quick flight to Van. what's that anticipation like? You go in there, the crowd, and were you anticipating going, 3 overall? I know Jack Hughes, everybody said number 1, blah, 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 but were you anticipating going where you went, or were you surprised?
I was a bit shocked. I was there for the whole week leading up to the draft. They had a couple of us doing some things with the NHL and media requests and stuff like that. And so then there's a group of us, and I was really good buddies with Bowen Byram and Dylan Cousins, and we've just played hockey and Team Canada's together growing up in the Western League and stuff. So the three of us were kind of talking, and but none of us heard anything from Chicago at that time. And they were picking 3, and we were all kind of in that conversation for it. And to be honest with you, the best feeling I got was with LA at 5. I met with them twice in 3 days before the draft, and met with Colorado a couple of times too. But the feeling I had with LA was I was comfortable with it. They liked me, I liked them, and it just seemed like it was going to work. And then an hour before the draft, I got a text from a random number, like even a green text message. So at that point, I'm like, this is fake.
One.
Like, yeah, somebody's fucking with me. Like, this ain't no iMessage. Who doesn't have an iPhone these days, So then it's like, are you ready to be a Hawk or something like that? Like, we're taking you at 3. And I was like, there's no way this is real. So I leaned over to my dad and I was like, read this. And he goes, just say, yep, I'm excited. Thank you for the opportunity. And then just don't say anything just in case it's not real. And I was like, all right. And then right as the draft happened, I guess they texted me, but I didn't want to look at my phone because I saw the camera start to move over towards me. And I think Turcotte was sitting behind me, and he's a Chicago kid, like was in that conversation too. So I didn't know if it was on me or him. And I was just like, I didn't want to look at my phone, but I could feel my phone buzz. And I found out later it was Stan, like the old GM was texting me saying, we're taking you with this pick. And they were all staring at me at the time, and they're like, "Why didn't you look over and look at the text and see, like crack a smile?" And it's like I just so nervous going through that thing.
Did you tell him like get a fucking iPhone?
Yeah, it wasn't Stan's phone. I don't know who I don't know how they got a green text to go to me, but they did. It scared the shit out of me.
Chicago, they need throwaway phones there, I think, Tim, right?
yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah, so you go Chicago in the draft. I mean, what a day for a kid now. It's such a big thing. And so you go up on the stage. You ever think back now where you're sitting here when you went to the combine, right?
Yeah.
How was the combine? And what are some of the questions you faced there? Like I would have loved to have gone through that whole process. I don't know were you nervous? And what were some of the things you were asked by certain teams?
Yeah, a little nervous, like going into certain interviews and stuff like that. There's definitely a pressure that comes with it. But I had not that I had an easy combine, but I only met with like 8 or 9 teams over like the 4 days. So my days were pretty relaxed and laid back. And I didn't get a lot of the questions you hear where they're trying to fuck with them or mess around with them. Yeah. I got a lot more serious questions about the game and the way I think and who I am as a person and player. But there wasn't too many that were kind of like off the cuff, like would throw me off or anything like that. So I'd like to think my combine experience went pretty good and didn't have to deal with any of the other crazy questions or come up with answers like that.
They do they do physical testing too, right? There? Yeah,
they do. Yeah. Yeah, that's they do like interviews all week and then bang, like the Thursday, Fridays, your fitness testing. You're like, I'd rather do the fitness testing Monday, Tuesday, and then interviews afterwards. Yeah. Sitting there all week in Buffalo, I don't mind it. Just get me in and out.
On the fitness testing, what was your strength out of all of them? What was the best thing?
I think it was one of the bike tests. Either one of them was pretty good. But chin-ups was definitely the hardest. Long guy, long arms. It's tough to go all the way up there and all the way down.
Right.
What was yours, Nux? What did you guys do? Like body squats back in the day, or what did you guys do?
We played 2 games a day in training camp. That's it. Back
How many
to back.
beers you can drink.
And then we do fucking laps, and then we do boards, and then we go to the tavern right afterwards, right? Across the street. So your first year, I mean, when I look at it's been a bit tumultuous for you, to say the least, when you look at some of the things that have happened since you came in the league. And you come in, it's the pandemic your first year, right?
Yeah.
What was it like, first of all, going into training camp there? Jonathan Tays, Patrick Kane, guys, all these guys that won cups. You're coming in there. Like I remember my first year here, like they won 4 Stanley Cups in a row. And here I come in the next year. I'm like, I had tight ass. I was nervous. All these fucking guys. And I hated the Canadians growing up in Boston. Fucking hated them. And now I'm on the ice with them all. What was that experience like for you?
There's definitely nerve-wracking, like you said, meeting childhood heroes like Taves and Kane, Dunk, Siebes, Crow was there. They had so many guys that won, and just the pedigree they held and who they were as people off the ice. I mean, Johnny went around everywhere, has made sure he said hellos and how are you to everybody that was there, young guys, old guys. Guys that couldn't even speak English, he'd take the time to get to know them, and I think that was pretty cool to see. But I was lucky enough to make that team, obviously, and then lived with Brent Seabrook for that season and the season afterwards, where it was the no fan year for a little bit. So he kind of became my father, my stepfather, and then Dunk was a little bit like my fun uncle. So I got to hang out with those two guys quite a lot and hear some stories and just get to know them as people, and still keep in touch with all 4 of them to this day. And they're definitely had a massive impact on my career.
Where's Seabrook live? Is he like north of the city, north side?
Yeah, when I lived with him, he was in Wrigleyville.
Oh, Wrigleyville.
Yeah,
I'm from Chicago. Yeah, you could have fun there.
Oh yeah, you're not missing out there.
Did you get to any Cubs games?
Yeah, I've been to a few, and then when I lived on my own there, I was in Lincoln Park, so I was only like a 5-minute drive from Wrigley Field. So, like going up there. I usually go back in the summer and try and catch a weekend of games. It's a good time up there.
It is. Yeah, I agree.
So you're in Chicago that first year, second year. That first year you went and played World Junior, right? And you end up. Was that the second?
The second year. The first year I was actually going to play for the World Juniors over in Bratislava. That was the year they won with like all my good buddies. Like they're all texting me beforehand, and we actually played Arizona the night before, where they kind of gave me a chance. He's like, you can choose to go or not go, and I was like, I'll play this game and then I'll come talk to you and we'll figure it out. And played the game. I walked up, was talking to Barrett Hayton, actually in Arizona. He's like, I'm gonna go tomorrow. Like I just told him, talk to the GM just so you know. So I went up and was like, hey Stan, like I want to go. Like I think this would be good for me. At that time I was playing 4th line, 10 minutes a night. Like just wanted to go. We had a great team going over there for World Juniors. We had a good chance of winning. I'd be able to play with top line, get all this confidence back, and then come back running. So and then Stan's like, yeah, you're good. Got a phone call an hour later, said upper management said you're not allowed to go anymore. So I was like, what do you mean? You're the GM of the team.
Yeah, who's upper management?
Yeah.
Ownership.
Yeah. What's going on here? And so didn't get to go that year. So then when it came around to the second year, like the COVID year, I called Stan right away when we didn't have a schedule. I was like, hey, we don't have a schedule. World Juniors has got a schedule. Do you care if I go play games? Like, I want to be able to play some games this year. And they're like, they talked about it for a week and they got back to me and said, yeah, you're good to go. And then that's the year. And I ended up snapping my wrist and into a different area code.
What shit luck that is. And, just to think, if not to torture you with this, but just to think if they let you go the fucking first year, I mean, who knows? But so you end up with that injury, and you come back, and took a while to bounce back. But why the 4th line? Listen, I get it. You're a young kid. Maybe send you the minors, give you first line minutes, all that. But why the 4th line with you? I mean, certainly the pedigree is there to be in a different position on that team. And I know it takes time, but I didn't get the 4th line thing with you there.
Yeah, well, I don't really know the answers to those questions, but at the same time, I think maybe they they were under pressure to keep me just because of the pick, and Byram obviously went 4, and a lot of people wanted Byram and at 3, and so they kind of wanted to show that I could play there. And I mean, looking back on it, was playing there beneficial? I mean, yeah, I learned a lot. Would being sent back to junior be good for me? I don't really know the answer to that. Like, I can play in the minors at that time because you're 18.
Oh,
You have to be 20 years old to play in it. So there's a lot of different factors that went into it. But, I mean, I think you can look at it too, like the way Slav is going right now. He's been playing real good hockey, and sometimes it just takes bigger guys that a couple more years to get ready and to be able to play their game. And I feel like once, even last year, I felt like I had ups and downs. And then once January kind of hit, I was like, all right, I've got it kind of figured out now. Like, I'm feeling good every game. And I think it just takes time. Everything just doesn't happen for everybody right away. And you have to be all right with it taking time and just be able to go through the process of it all.
You
Well, I
didn't,
get
you
that.
didn't call Mitch Love, Coach Mitch Love, and say, "How do I play the 4th line?"
No, didn't call Lover.
I certainly get that. Like, being a young kid coming in, it does take time. But I just figure coaching staff and organizationally, they put you in a better position to succeed instead of putting you in a 4th line situation.
Well, I wanted to ask about that real quick. How was that Jeremy Colleton? And I don't want you to bash him, but I mean,
No, you'd want him to bash him if
bash
he wants
him.
to.
Say
Don't
it.
tell him.
Say it.
Don't tell him I don't want you to
I'm
bash
just
him.
saying,
Fuck.
I'm just saying.
If
I'm
he
just
wants
saying.
to bash him, he can
go
bash him,
ahead.
but I know he won't.
Jeremy was a good guy. He was put in a situation that was tough. I mean, anybody coming into that team after them letting Joel Quenneville go was going to have a hard time. I mean, he grew up as like a kind of in my eyes, a father figure to those players and taught them how to play the game, won with them, just kind of became a huge mentor to that core group that was in Chicago for so long. So anybody that came into that locker room was going to have a hard time getting guys on the same page, or I think he was just kind of put in a position where he wasn't going to succeed. I mean, he played hockey with Seabrook growing up. Dunk was 2 years older than him. It's like
I couldn't take his.
It's a tough
I would watch
situation.
like his press conference. I was like, "Is anyone listening to this guy?" And
Yeah.
I'm sure he was a good guy. And I was just like, "Did he ever lay the
think
hammer down? Was he ever like,
Not really. Like, he just and we had Mark Crawford too that year as an assistant coach, and I mean, you can go on and on about Crow stories. So it was just weird. It was a weird year, weird coach. Like, didn't really make sense to me. Like, as a young guy, you walk in, and then it's nice finally, like with Marty, being able to have a coaching staff that teaches you the game, that wants you to learn, wants you to help. Like, it definitely makes a huge difference in the player's progression and where you're going to be.
So the wrist injury, you end up coming back playing the last 18 games of the season, 10 points, not bad. So now you get that summer off, you get to really heal up, and now you're going to come back in for a full season, 21-22, played 70 games. Now, how did that year go for you? Like, when you look back at it personally, like, do you feel like you made that jump? Because center ice, and but center ice, I look at a guy like Patrice Bergeron, I think he's one of the best center icemen to ever play the game. Like, the total game. Total game. I love this game. And to get there, it takes a lot. Playing both ends of the rink, that defensive responsibility, being able to, deliver the puck to your line mates, all those things, getting to the net. And you certainly have the size. Where did you feel you kind of stood that year, that last year in Chicago?
I was ready come camp. I was ready to kind of prove myself, get there, kind of become the man, playing between Kane and Kat for a little bit, and like get that confidence in me. And I was just never put with those two guys or put in that situation. I remember the middle of November, I was put down to the third line, and it was just told, your job is to shut down the other team's top line. You're not playing on like, and it's like I'm a 20-year-old kid going against McKinnon every second night and all these big centermen in the Western Conference. It's like, Jesus, like this is a lot to take on, and there's just there's a lot of kind of dark times where it's just like I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like the hockey isn't becoming fun. Like this isn't the player I am. I'm not a shutdown centerman. Yeah, I can play 200 feet, but I like to score goals. I like to create offense. I like to have the puck on my stick. And just felt for like 2 months I was constantly chasing the puck around the ice, trying to play defense against teams that were much better than we were at the time, and they kind of took it to us. So you're really just skating in laps around your own D zone, trying to get a puck out and breathe for a second. But that year was full of ups and downs, and kind of knew towards the end of the year that there's a good possibility I wasn't going to be coming back. And same with DeBrincat. We talked about it a couple of times that summer. Strome knew that. Like there was 4 or 5, 6 of us that were like, yeah, I think they're kind of done with all of us and just going to move on and rebuild. And I mean, they can do what they want, but I'm excited to be in Montreal. I've loved being here. It's been great so far, and definitely nice to be wanted and feel loved.
Yeah, there's no question, right? But that last year, I don't want to skip over Chicago too quickly. So did you buy a house there? Do you have a place and everything?
Yeah,
you're looking to have a long, like here I am, a young kid. I'm Chicago, 3rd overall. I'm gonna have a good long career here. And after that short time, 3 years there, you had it in your head that they were gonna get rid of you, or were there rumblings in the media?
It was more rumblings in the media, and then just kind of the way my exit interviews went with Kyle and the way he kind of spoke towards me. I was just like, yeah, this isn't a good feeling. So, but I have a place down there still. I ended up buying it because Colton got drafted there too. So I was like, this would be great. Like we can live together and it'll be awesome, kind of fun. And then, so
now you can rent it out.
Yeah, were you able to sell your Cubs season tickets?
No, I kept those. So I just kind of rented out to some guys, and then obviously my brother in the winter, and Dvorak's from there, so Devo rents it from me in the summer.
Cool. So you're in that season, the off season comes, and then the draft comes. How if you had your choice back then? Now I know you play. If you had your choice of going somewhere, where would you have liked to gone? Leaving Chicago.
Honestly, it didn't matter to me. There's a lot of teams that I heard that were kind of poking around or trying to figure out what the price was for me. So
you never thought like LA might be nice, or
you look at it
or
now,
Edmonton,
like,
who I grew up loving.
I don't know if I'd want to be in Edmonton just yet, to be honest with you. It's
cool.
It'd be a lot with family and friends and buddies, and
right.
Like, it's better just to be away from a couple distractions like that and enjoy your time as a young player in the league and not have too many skeletons.
So you end up with the Habs. Surprised, shocked, excited? What went through your head when you found out you were in a deal to go to the Montreal Canadiens?
Yeah, I was a little shocked. It's not a phone call anybody really wants to get or to have when you see your GM's name pop up on draft night. It's your heart kind of drops to the bottom of your stomach, and then just said his piece. And really, the only thing I remember is you're going to Montreal. That was about it. And called my agent Jerry Johansson right after we talked about it and the kind of the team they were building with, and Kent Hughes' kind of vision and Jeff Gordon's and Marty's vision of what they want the team to become and where I fit into that. And you definitely feel a little warm and fuzzy being wanted on a younger team that's kind of going to let you grow and develop and play the game, but still at the same time be held accountable for your mistakes and build towards something, not just go out there and play free hockey, but build towards a winning culture.
And were you like, gonna go like? Were they telling you you're gonna play like how you should play? Like, you know what I mean? Like not fourth line. I mean, that's exciting, right?
Yeah, exactly. I got here and Marty didn't really say much. He's just kind of, I'm going to watch you through camp first, through preseason. I want to see how you play the game. I'm going to leave you alone, and then we can go from there, and we can start to build each and every day. And I think the one thing that like he really worked with me last year was the floor and the ceiling. He's like, I don't know how high your ceiling's ever going to be. Like, it could be the highest. We don't know that. It could be the lowest. We don't know that. What I do know is that if we can elevate your floor each and every night and keep your floors elevated, your ceiling's just going to get higher. You're going to have moments where it's going to become easy for you. And it's just working at those little things each and every day in practice or off the ice, and doing the video things with Marty or anybody else in the coaching staff. That gets you to that next level. And I think he's done a really good job of that, and kind of mentoring all of us and teaching us. And I mean, he's the guy that's been in every situation too in the league. Was undrafted and played fourth line, third lines, first, like all the power play, penalty kill, won the awards, Hall of Fame. Like, he can sit down and talk to anybody about their position and be like, I've been there. Like, I understand what you're going through. Like, this is what I need from you. I think that's what makes our team a special group, is that we're able to pull together in certain moments and do it for one another. And Marty's really at the helm of that, leading the way.
Yeah, you know what? We heard so many good things about him, like the first time he spoke to the team when he took over, all this stuff. We talked to Pizzetta about the stuff he talked to him about, how, you know, it's not good enough just to dump the puck by the D-man. You can make a play. He works with him to improve his game, not just being happy with, okay, he's going to go out there and hit people and punch people. I want him to be a hockey player, which I love that. I love it because, some guys who play that role too never get that opportunity. They're just pigeonholed and that's it. So Marty, I'm sure, was a breath of fresh air for you. And from me standing back and looking at it, I see him, he puts you on the wing, and I'm going, why the wing? He's a center iceman. And then, I find out, and I thought about it a little more. I talked to a few people, but I just think that was such a brilliant move to get you. Here you are with a new team. It doesn't seem like much. Okay, go play wing for a while. But to get you to play with some confidence, play with some better players, and not putting the pressure on you to have to play both ends of the rink. I just thought it was how'd you feel about it when you first went to wing? Were you like, what the hell, I'm a centerman?
Yeah, I mean,
it
wasn't my first time playing wing. There's a couple of times I played with Taser in Chicago, and he played down the middle, and so I was a little bit used to it. And I mean, going out there with Cole and Susie, I think things just clicked right away. I think we went on a run where we had, like, I don't know what we ended up having, but we were buzzing pretty good there for a while. And just the way that those two guys played the game and the way I kind of complemented it, things kind of seemed easy for us for a while. And once we had that confidence, Marty was able to kind of split us up and go in different directions and add more scoring and depth-wise, and be able to have two lines that are rolling. And I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there, being able to give me confidence in my game back, and then just let me kind of take my own line after that, and kind of have a two-headed monster down the middle with Susie and I, hopefully for years to come, is a pretty good tandem.
Yeah, sometimes wing, I was going through both positions, and sometimes wing is like way better. It depends who your centerman is, because, at the end of the day, like, center sucks when you're just getting draws, snap back, and then you're hemmed in the zone for like 2 minutes trying to switch with the winger, like trying to like get the winger to go down low. Yeah. So sometimes
somebody else take this guy. I'm tired.
You're just like. So it is nice to get the wing position, but like I said, I think depending on who your centerman is, for sure.
That is funny, because that makes me think back Carbonell, when I played with Carbonell and Gainey. If I happen to be back first, Cabo would always tell me, I'm going to call a switch on you. No, he would say, get out of there. Because, he was, obviously he was the player he was, but he felt he wanted to be in control of that down low in our end. It was always, he'd call a switch and I'd have to jump out of there. But that's something we practice all the time as a team, right? Wingers had to, we played 3-on-3 down low. Wingers had to play as a center iceman, so you learn that. But it's a lot of responsibility to do it. You do it once or twice a game as a winger. You get being the first guy back, but as a center iceman, shift after shift, it's not easy. So you get that confidence back. You get going. You had a good season. You end up having an injury. Was it the knee that?
Last year's had a pinched nerve in my back.
Yeah, your back.
So my right leg really wasn't working for a little bit. It kind of went
Couldn't
numb.
keep up with the left?
Yeah, I went numb, like kind of tingling sensation in it, and then towards the end of the year had a concussion too. So two of those, but felt really good coming into camp. Like summer was great, and then
what about the goal in Chicago? The goal in Chicago, though.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
The celly, I have to get up with the times, but it was awesome. How good that feel?
I did it back in junior, actually. We had a good rivalry with Prince Albert, and ended up playing them in playoffs in the second round. And every time I touched the puck, I was getting booed. And there's just signs around in this little shitbox arena up in Prince Albert. So I was just like, fuck you. When I got scored a nice goal and kind of end-to-end around, everybody did this whole like hand of the year thing. And then same thing in Chicago. Scored that goal. I knew too, like the way it kind of played out too. I was in overtime. I was like, if I get the puck from Susie, Cole's on my left for one timer, fuck him, I'm shooting it anyway. Fine, because I'm going to score this, and then it's just down the ice, heartbreaker, boom. Kind of just like a final send-off, but then get to the shootout, Cole scores, Susie scores, Taser scores, Anthony scores, Kaner misses. Thank God. Usually that guy's butter in those. Yeah. And Marty gave me a tap on the back. I kind of knew I was going third, and I've always had that move, quick backhand to the forehand, low glove. It's hard for goalies, especially with my range, to get all the way over. And then that was just all feel. I was kind of looking in the stands and heard all the boos before, and I was just like, nah, fuck it, here you go.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Hey, that's emotion. You get the game's emotional game. That's just awesome. That response, I love that. I mean, look, I remember playing in Boston. Every time I got kicked out of a game or had a fight, and throwing beer and pizza and shit.
Every time I got kicked out of the game.
And then for me, the brawl in the hall, I'm going by the bench, and I finally said, fuck this, and I threw a shot at Lindsman, and it went nuts. But I get the emotional part of it. There's no question. So I love that. That's cool. So, Chicago, man, the shit that's happened to you, Chicago. There's some good things and some bad things. And then this year, I don't know if I ever felt so bad for a guy than what happened to you this year. You get that hit by Tenori, and I'm telling you, it looked like you just rolled with it. Everything was good. You're gonna pop back out there. What happened there? What do you remember about the hit?
Yeah, like you and I were talking about in the garage there the other day. I kind of saw him coming when the puck was getting stuck on the ice. It was a little snowy, so I kind of had to reach back. But I saw him last second, and he's a bigger guy, so I kind of went to jump into him to counter hit him. Just completely forgot I wasn't along any glass. I was kind of just had a brain fart there. And so when I started to fall into the bench, I was like, I just got to kind of keep going with it, as we're just moving sideways. And what happened was my leg went up between his legs, and he stopped, dead in his tracks. So my upper body kept moving. So I had all this momentum going, and I didn't hear anything, didn't really feel anything. My knee just kind of went that, shifted. And I stood on the ice and skated, and I was like, it's just numb and tingling, not a lot of pain, but knee down, numbness. And I got back to the bench and was talking to Rammer, and Rammer was like, just move your foot, see if it comes back. So I moved my foot, and I felt fine. Honestly, no pain, nothing. That's kind of just the adrenaline that kicks in, right? You don't feel it. It's next TV timeout, go for a skate, see how it feels. Went for a little skate, felt good, turned to my right, felt good. And as soon as I turned to my left, my inside edge, felt like somebody had a basketball or a beach ball pushing on the outside of my knee and just would buckle in. I just couldn't stand on it, turn left, or do anything. So Rammer pulled me from the game, and they didn't tell me until after the MRIs, but at the time, the doctor kind of knew that my ACL wasn't there anymore and that it was torn, but didn't really want to say anything just in case that was there was good news the next day at the MRI. So I had MRI next day, waited maybe an hour for the results, got a call from the doc, and he's just like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. It's pretty shitty. I was like, all right, well, what is it? And he goes, your season's done. You're going to need ACL surgery. Your MCL might be a little bit torn too, or not too sure. So we'll figure it out. But you're going to need surgery and you're done for the year. And it's like, holy fuck, like 3.5 periods of hockey, like felt pretty good, like was flying around, was ready to rock this year. And then you just kind of get kicked in the nuts like that. And now you got your whole mindset just kind of shifts into this poor me attitude. Like, why is it always me? What's going on?
Right.
And yeah, you go through that for 2 weeks. And then, I was lucky enough. My mom, came down for 3 weeks right after my knee, like the next day or 2 days later, and kind of just helped me move and, go to the grocery store, home cooked meals. So that definitely helped a lot. But, I'd be lying to you if there wasn't a lot of scary or dark times where it's just like, this is just, it's every year now. Like, why is it like this? What's going on? And you have to find a way to stay positive, to stay excited, especially coming to the rink and seeing the guys has been huge for me. Like, if I didn't have that this year, there wouldn't be much left of my love for the game or the way I want to play. So, being around the guys and how energetic they all are, and, being incorporated with team stuff definitely helps out a lot and keep your mind away from the injury.
Did you deal with any injuries before you came to the NHL?
Yeah. Junior, separated both shoulders, broken clavicle, but nothing like major where I needed surgery, except for World Juniors and this year.
I'd stay the fuck away from Chicago if I were you. Fuck Chicago.
Yeah.
Get that out of your life,
bad
Chicago.
News.
Yeah.
Right?
Bad news, Bears.
It's funny. People I don't think they really, because they're not in that. You have to be in the situation. Like you said, the poor me's. We've all, I know I've had them when I played. There's no question about it. But the emotional part of it, right? Like, another one. You can't blame someone for going through that. But at some point, like you said, you got to get back. And you had the help of your mom, which is awesome being there for you. So the surgery, when we talk about the ACL, now there's different degrees, 1, 2+, 3, totally torn. Where were you on that? Did it tear right through, or?
Oh yeah. Mine was
blown.
gone.
So did they, in the surgery, they explained to you what they were going to do? Put a synthetic one in, or what did they do?
They took a piece of my patella and just screwed it in. Like, that's the best I can kind of describe it without all the big medical terms, because I don't even know those terms. It's like they're speaking a different language to me. But so he kind of took a piece of that out and replaced my ACL with that, and then took 2 screws and bolted it into my leg. And it's honestly felt pretty good. Like, haven't had a lot of pain or like setbacks so far, which, like, knock on wood, just kind of keeps going. It's 7 weeks today. So hopefully can get on the ice end of January, middle of February, somewhere in that area, and be able to keep moving forward with this thing.
Was the MCL torn too?
I guess it ended up, we did rehab on it before I went for surgery, because I waited 2 weeks to go before for the swelling and stuff to go down. So I guess once they got into surgery, they didn't think they needed to fix it, that it would just be fine on its own.
Good. Well, good luck with the bouncing back from that and the therapy, because it's a long road, and it's awesome that you have good medical team there to get you back to health. So hopefully everything heals and you get your ass out there again.
And it's okay. Point. It's okay to be like, what the fuck, if you didn't feel like that, that would be like weird almost.
Yeah.
Just like,
hey, alarm bells would be going off.
Yeah.
So your mom come down and help out. But those lonely times when you sit there with that, it's not an easy thing, no question. And like you said, being around the team helps. But did you get to a point too when you're on the team, like, fuck, I feel.
I think
you feel like, am I really part of this? Because I've dealt with that and it sucks.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's pretty much the big reason why I left a couple of days ago and came home for an extended time was to just have a reset. It was getting to the point where, I mean, you're happy for the team. We're winning. We're playing good games. But like you said, there it feels like a part of you is missing something. There's a kind of like a hole in your life, and you don't really know what to do. And like you said, you don't feel a part of it as much as you are a part of it, and you're around the guys, and you love the team, and they love you, and you're there every day. It's a different feeling. It's definitely something I've never felt before, or even gone through. Even with my wrist, I knew my wrist was supposed to be 4 to 5 months, and I was back playing in 3. But at the same time, I was able to skate 6 weeks after my wrist surgery.
Yeah,
Like it was pretty quick, and there was no second guessing it after I was on the ice. It was like, okay, we're ready to go. Like, if you can do all this, you'll be fine. So with this, it's obviously a little bit different, more time, a little more precaution, but I think you kind of said the right thing there, where you don't feel a part of the team sometimes.
Yeah, when you have like when you have like no value, it feels like you're like, right? Like it is a lonely place. But
yeah, I get up to my press box, sit there, you're just like, oh, there's another one. Yeah, so it's definitely challenging at times.
Do you find yourself watching the team and you're watching your teammates and you go, fuck, he should have passed the puck there, or oh, he should have shot that? Do you find yourself do that when you watch your teammates? Yeah, it's easy from up there, right? Isn't it easy?
Yeah, a lot of space from up top, and then you get out there and you're like, where the fuck did all the space go? Yeah, but
you get behind the bench. You need to get behind the bench.
I know. Give me an earpiece. I'll be talking to Marty the whole game. But no, yeah, you see things differently from up top, and I think when I can, I kind of talk to guys about things I see or plays, and it's definitely a mutual respect thing. It's not like I'm going in there guns ablaze and telling guys what I think they should be doing out there, but if they want to talk to me about it, then we can talk about it. And I mean, Slav and I have had pretty good communication all year, just trying to help him through and things he was going through early on, and get him going, and now he's flying and he's buzzing around out there, so it's good to see.
So you talk about Slav, and we had him on, and this kid's a fucking monster, obviously, but
oh yeah,
it's unbelievable, and I love his enthusiasm. Tim and I spoke with him and had him on, and like I said, and he when I think back, he was like 16 years old. He was living on his own, playing in fucking Finland or wherever the fuck he was. But it's incredible how mature he is for his age. You know, that kid. He, you know, and people forget. And that's another thing. Like being here in Montreal, the fucking spotlight is on you all the time. And you hear fucking people talking, oh, he came too soon. He should be here. Oh, is he going to break through? Is he? The expectation is really, it's unfair in a lot of ways. But I think this kid, and people forget that, he's 19 years old, and it's going to take him some time. Just because he was first overall, people think, oh, he should come in and fucking rip it up right away. I mean, most logical people don't think that, but there's so many here that don't think that way. You know?
Exactly. I think that's like you said, even like we forget Slav is 19 years old. Like he doesn't look like a normal 19-year-old. He's a massive human being.
Yeah.
But he's a great kid, and he loves the game, and he wants it. He wants to be good. He wants to prove to everybody here that he was the first overall pick, that he was that guy. And I think he's gotten better with each game this year. I mean, you're not going to play great every game. It's a long season. You're young and you go through ups and downs. But for him, I think it's just trying to find a consistent game, doing the right things each night, whether it's you're not going to get points every night, but if you're hard on the forecheck, you're hard on pucks, you're protecting pucks, you're making those plays in the offensive zone, stuff will happen for you eventually. Like it's not just going to not happen. So I think he's progressed this year, and I think it'll be another year or two until we really see a guy that is going to be scary to play against for many years. I mean, I see Slav at 26 being one of the best players in the NHL with his size, his skill, his speed. He's only going to get better. I mean, you give that guy time to develop, and when this thing's ready to take off and take it to the next level, he'll be definitely one of the leaders behind that ship.
Yeah. Listen, what a great young core of players. You got to be excited about being part of that, moving ahead once you get back out there, because there is a good group of young players here. And I think that certainly the guys in place and Hughes and Gorton, that really, they've done a hell of a job in kind of getting this ship turned around here. And it's got to be exciting to be part of that. But so 2 original 6 cities, Chicago, Montreal. Your teammates in Montreal, when you look around the room, Cole Caulfield, this kid, like he's always smiling, always, he's like, how much do your teammates love this guy? Is he one of them guys in the room just everybody gravitates to?
Oh,
or
yeah.
They want to smack him in the head?
Yeah, no, Cole's good shit. He's funny. He's high energy, brings it each day. I don't know how he brings it each day. There's days where you get to the rink in Montreal, it's so cold outside, you're freezing, you just want to get your breakfast and sit in the training room and just kind of shoot it with the guys, and he's buzzing around off the walls. You're just like, how the fuck are you got this much energy? Yeah, it's freezing outside. But that's he's a great teammate, and he's a great friend, and it's definitely nice to have a guy like that on your team that kind of helps pick up the balance. I mean, like I said, in winter or days like that, but he does a good job of dialing in too. When he's super serious about the game, he wants it. He wants to be a great goal scorer. He wants to be a great player. He wants to do all these great things. And when it comes time to work, he goes out there and he works his bag off each and every day. And I don't think maybe he doesn't get enough credit for that, or the work he puts in at the rink that maybe people don't see, or in the gym and stuff. The kid, he lives and breathes hockey, and it's nice to kind of have a team that's focused on that and wanting to succeed and take everything to the next level.
Would that be the difference between Chicago and Montreal as far as the locker room? Like, you probably Chicago, you're looking up more to guys, and would you say you're more like, friends with guys on Montreal, younger?
Yeah, I think the team I walked into in Chicago was older. There's a lot of married guys with kids, and it's just a different setting. They were kind of in a turnover where they just got rid of Joel Quenneville and brought in Jeremy, and they didn't know what direction they were really going in. They still had Kaner, who was putting up 80, 90 points, 100 points a year. He was buzzing around. DeBrincat was scoring 30, 40. They just kind of had a mix of shit going on. You didn't really know what was going to happen or where we were going. And then get to Montreal. It's pretty clear the vision we have here and what they want to accomplish. And it's nice to be a part of a plan like that.
How about this city, like in the fan base? Can you believe how many people know you? Like here, it's like everybody knows you. I'm sure Chicago people knew you too, but it's a little different when you're in the States compared to a Canadian city. People are nuts here, right? You can't go anywhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, Chicago, there's 6 major sports teams. Like you can get away with a little bit more now.
They're Hawks fans, right?
Yeah,
like they're not hockey fans. Like they watch a Hawks game, they're not turning like the Blue Jackets game on after. Right?
No, exactly. Yeah, no, you can get away with a little bit more down there, but up here, it's been great. I mean, look at the reaction. Yeah, look at the reaction. Andy just got. I mean, it's been a hard year for him. We all know it, but he's pushed through it all year. He's been great, and for him to play, get 4 points last 2 games, and the reception from the fans he got shows how much I think we all love playing here and the support we get from them, and definitely makes a big difference with them behind us, and it makes it a hard building for other teams to come in and play in when they're up and rocking. And it's definitely we're definitely thankful for the support we get from the fans here.
How's your French?
How about, pas français, pas français.
Zero French.
Zero French.
Zero French.
Don't they kind of, they bring in tutors and stuff now for some guys, or is it just Nick? They want the captain to speak a little bit, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen no tutors around.
Okay.
But yeah, so.
It's probably good to be like, I don't really want to know what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I'll just read the negative shit in English. I don't need to read in French too.
So the city itself, it's a beautiful city. You got a girlfriend?
No, no, I don't.
No. Well, that's a good city to be in, not to have a girlfriend. I'm sure I
Not
don't
right
have
now.
to tell you
Not
that.
right at this moment.
Not at this moment.
Yeah, not at this moment.
So that's a good thing. How about restaurants? Favorite restaurants in the city? Montreal?
Yeah, I kind of bounce around, kind of wherever the wind blows. Blows me. We got a good group that likes to go to dinner. Usually it's Cole and I are getting up to something, trying to find somewhere to go eat. But we go to Palma quite a bit, Fishbone, Grinder, Moretti a few times. But there's a few
What's the
hidden gems in
sushi
there.
bar? What's the sushi bar? The best
We like
one.
to go. We like Rio in Griffintown. That's kind of our spot. But there's a couple other hidden gems we go to that we'll keep to ourselves. We like to keep those a little more quiet, a little more private.
That's a good thing.
You haven't been to Knuckles Bed and Breakfast yet? He does some cooking. You haven't been there yet?
No.
All right.
No, I've heard about it though. No, heard about it.
Yeah, I had Big Arbor and Jordan came over for dinner. Jordan played college where I played college at Northeastern.
Oh yeah,
so,
Northeastern.
Yeah, we had them. They came for dinner. It was funny.
Who's your off-ice crew? Who's the guys on the team you hang out with?
So where I live, there's like a group of like 8 of us that live around.
Where are you?
We're in Griffintown.
Griffintown, okay. Yeah.
So I just make a quick 2-minute walk over to Dvorak and Caulfield's place and hang out with them for a little bit. It's usually us three aren't far from each other.
Tim, Griffintown's kind of a regentrified neighborhood. You know, it kind of got run down over the years, and a lot of older, nice buildings there, and they kind of brought the neighborhood back. A lot of restaurants and bars and stuff. Pretty cool spot.
How far are you from there, Nux?
About 20 miles, 25 miles. Not bad. I don't partake in that stuff anymore. The odd thing was all different when we went to Crescent Street. You know what Crescent is, right?
Maybe later on in the night we get a little better.
He will soon.
Yeah.
Crescent Street, yeah, it's more in the middle of town, but that's where all the bars were before. They never had them anywhere else, restaurants and bars. But anyway, so you're liking the city. That's a good thing, no question. Great facility, right? How about ownership when we talk about Jeff Molson and how good? But his dad owned the team when I was here, and they treated, you guys, it's totally different today, but back in that day, we were kind of ahead of the curve than a lot of teams. We started chartering before some other teams and stuff like that. Certain trips we charter, but some we'd fly commercial. But Mr. Molson was an awesome owner for us, and I'm sure Jeff pretty much the same. Do you interact? They kind of see Jeff around a bit?
Yeah, just like every once in a while, you kind of see him poking his head in and around place and talk to him. And he's probably down to earth guy. He's great guy, and definitely does a lot for us. But I think the way he takes care of everybody else in the organization too, it's huge. I don't think there's anybody in this entire planet that could say one bad word about who he is or anything like that. So it's definitely nice to have an owner like that cares about where the team's going and the progression of the team and wants us to succeed and definitely helps us out along the way and takes care of his employees the way he does. He's a tremendous man, and we're definitely lucky to have him as our owner. So
I wanted to ask you a little bit about your bro in Colton. You were drafted 3rd overall. He was drafted by Chicago also, but does he feel any pressure, you think, from his older brother having, made it to the NHL already, and did you feel like there's a little pressure on him there, or how's he view that, your bro?
I don't think so. I mean, he grew up with kind of like me being the older brother, and kind of dealt with that at a younger age and stuff like that in junior and stuff. And I think he's at the point now where he's comfortable enough in the player who he is and the player he's going to be that it doesn't matter what people kind of say to him anymore. And part of him is he's got that switch to him where you say the wrong thing, he might snap and kill you. So
Is he in Rockford?
Yeah, he's in Rockford.
And Anders is Anders his head
Rock
coach?
Vegas.
I know Anders. Well. He likes him.
Yeah, he does. Anders. I had Anders for a few games too, and I played in Rockford. So he was. I really liked him. Colton likes him. He likes. They're a young team down there. He knows that they're struggling a little bit to win games, but he's having fun. There's a couple guys he played juniors with and won World Juniors with, and down there. So he's. It's his first year pro. He's excited for it, and he's definitely playing good hockey. And he's trying to just get the call up and then stay in Chicago the rest of the year.
Good stuff. So you're home for Christmas, family. When you get back to Montreal?
I don't think not until January yet. I haven't really figured out a date. Just kind of taking it day by day and see how I feel, and make sure when I come back I'm feeling all right and ready to dive into things again.
What's the day of therapy for you? Like, what's it look like? When you're here and you're with the therapist, you're getting to a point where you're going to have to start really working that thing. What's the day consist of for you?
I've been working it for a while, to be honest with you. Maybe trying to push it a little bit, but it's a lot of hands-on work right now. And then mobility stuff, strength stuff. Do a lot of stuff in the pool, walking on the treadmill, biking already, weight shifts, a lot of hip work, trying to like make sure that my glutes firing, that I'm not overcompensating for stuff, my quads, hamstrings, making sure every muscle's working. So it's actually a lot longer than I thought it would be.
3 hour days, is it?
Yeah, spending in the gym, working through things and making sure everything's moving the right way, and I'm not using other body parts to cheat out of strengthening.
Do you know anyone that's had this injury?
Yeah, so Dvorak went through this all last summer.
So you talked to him a little bit about it?
Yeah, I talked to him about it, and there's a couple other guys, but just kind of talked to Devo about it. But my knee feels good, honestly. Like if they were like, "Hey, you want to skate tomorrow?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I think I'm good enough to skate," but I don't think they'd let me. But it hasn't been. It's been good so far. It's long and it's tedious. All the little details you got to go through, and it just kind of mentally wears you down more than anything.
Well, mentally stay tough, be strong, and work your butt off. I want to see you get back in there for sure. You could be a big part of this thing moving forward. I just, I want to see you get back out there and have that success. And ask Tim. The last time we had a guy on, Tim, right? A defenseman.
Yeah, he was a healthy scratch.
His career took off, didn't it?
That's what we do. Like you will be a big part, is what we're saying. And you will look back. Perfect. You're 22, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll look. I mean, you'll look back, and all of this is going to be, happen for you. I really do believe that. So it does. I'm not in your shoes, and I'm not giving you the hero speech, but but I'm just saying that it sucks, but you're doing the right things, and obviously we're rooting for you.
It's funny. Like I did not get hurt until like I was 28. That's about my 8th year in the league, right? And then they fucking came one after another. It was like, it was like, honest to God, I had that whole feeling. Like I felt bad for myself. Why is this happening to me? I broke my fucking arm twice. I tore my knee up. I had the hockey hernia. Every fucking thing. My knee. And it was like, I was just so beat up at the end. Mm-hmm. Like,
how's your diet? Are you putting on some weight? You look like you got stung by a bee. Like
no. Honestly, I've been good. I think I lost a few pounds. I've been making sure because I went through it with my wrist surgery. I like 3 bottles of wine a night. You're just like, fuck it.
That would be the worst. You just walk in the locker room. Everyone's like, whoa.
What happened to you?
Fat Albert.
Yeah. That's good. No. I've been good with this one. I haven't put on too much weight.
Well, listen, I want to wish you and your family very Merry Christmas. I appreciate you taking the time to come on today. And I know Tim, I can speak for him. We wish you nothing but good things in the future with the Habs. So good stuff. And that player we had on, by the way, who was he, Tim?
Zach Koivu? Was it
Fuck
Zach?
yeah,
Barron, right?
Justin Barron.
Justin Barron.
JB.
Funny, come on. He was a healthy scratch would come on. And Tim was giving him the rah-rah speech. And
Yeah. I gave one of my hero speeches, my bullshit, work hard, which I never did. So it worked.
Yeah, exactly.
But, so happy holiday. Enjoy the family. And we'll see you when you get back in town. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to Raw Knuckles Podcast. Please like, follow, and subscribe.